Next problem is number 9, palindrome number. Given an integer x, return true if x is a palindrome and false otherwise. So I think it's a very simple palindrome question that happens to involve number and not a string that we're used to. In examples, so if it is 1 to 1, then it is true. If it's negative 1 to 1, it's not going to be palindrome. And number 10 is false because if you read it backwards, it's not. This is an edge case where there is a negative number, and that I think is usually how we start things, kind of excluding those circumstances. I've seen a couple palindrome problems, and what I recall is that there were two main ways people approached it. The way that I'm used to doing it was comparing the first and the last index while looping through the string array or whatever, and then looping it until the halfway. You don't have to go through the whole thing because if you convert the first half, second half is already done. So why don't we start there? If x is less than 0, which means x is negative. And then there is the two-pointer method where they compare the two indices, I guess the front and the end, and then approach it that way. I don't feel too cozy with a two-pointer, so I'm gonna solve it the way that I know it, but I'm going to take a look at the two-pointer right after this, because I think two-pointer is one of the most fundamental, like basic thing you are supposed to know. Another thing we have to make note of is that this is a integer and not string. So either we could like divide them, I believe like using modulo and stuff like that to do that. And then compare is technically more efficient, but I don't feel too comfy with the whole logic without like any IntelliSense. So for now, I'll try to solve it straight up. String num is equal to x dot convert x, and then for int I equals 0, I less than nums dot length divided by 2 plus plus. So looping it only halfway to compare if I or nums dot I. Wrong answer. Let me write it out. So, wait. I think it's minus 1 minus I. Uh-huh. I'm pretty sure that will solve it. Yes. Oh my god. I actually figured it out. Um, but to be fair, this is probably the easiest question in the entirety of LeetCode, so yeah. So today we finally had a working solution in a pretty timely fashion. I didn't, I realized afterwards that I didn't even time myself, but maybe I knew that I should know this by heart, that I didn't even feel the need for the timer. Um, but it wasn't perfect. I definitely have to learn how to parse it the number way that interviewers prefer, rather than wasting time with the whole converting to string, because it's definitely more expensive and just doesn't make sense to do that at scale. Also, even for this, I didn't know by heart like how to write this convert dot to string, which I feel like I should by now. So definitely room for some improvement. I'm glad that I figured this out, the minus I portion of the comparison, by running through the example that they told me, um, which always feels nice, even if it's a very easy problem. And this being a relatively easy problem gave me a little extra time today to learn and mess around with the whole editing part of this video thing. So, pretty content with today's problem, and hopefully, we can have more correct solutions in the future. Again, thanks for watching, and I appreciate any feedback you guys have for me.